Hello and welcome to you all here from my couch and from the Hockenheim GP circuit. It is time for round 9 in Germany, obviously, with the Hockenheim GP being in Germany. You can see the length of the track there and the amount of turns. 17 turns and 4.5 kilometers long. So I'm not sure what that is in mileage. I think about 3 miles, but I'm not very good with calculating the miles to kilometers and hours and the other way around. Anyway, I'm not joined by my co-host today once again, so that's a bit unfortunate. But I will try and get the best possible broadcast out there for you today, as I am obviously Overdykink, as you may know. And here's a list of all the drivers that are with us today. We've got Hesselden 90 in the BMW. Everyone actually in the BMW M3 GT once again, apart from me, obviously. We've got Hesselden 90. We've got Casey, who can actually become a champion in this race. We've got GT Gavin with us, we've got Jason, Richie Davey, G-Rim Altman, Dave the Harp and from Racing JS. We've not got a lot of people today, which is a bit unfortunate, so we hope for the last race in 2 weeks time that there will be more drivers on the grid, including you, hopefully. If you've got the game, feel free to message JS or DP or GP or whatever, and try and get yourself a seat for the last race. There should be enough space on the grid. So it would be quite nice if people would join this league, because it is a good league, but unfortunately it's not a very popular league, and I will drive out on track and then go back to the pits so I can have a look on the track to see a BMW, I think, from GT Gavin going out here. We're on board with Casey now anyway, here around the hairpin. I'm not very familiar with the corner names apart from the stadium section, which is the last section of the track. Very nice section, and a section that's not really been touched in all the transformations of the track. So we drive on board with Casey here. The number 20 blue BMW is a traditional livery. That is me. We've got GT Gavin out in the white BMW, as I've just said. Jason still in the box. Richie Davey in the yellow BMW, number 76. I think that's actually the same livery as Hesselden normally uses, so I hope that's not going to cause any problems. As we see G.B. Altman exit the pits in the red BMW number 99 with Dave the Harp in the Strodia BMW. So Dave the Harp's gone for a different livery this time, normally with the RGB livery, and this time maybe a livery that brings him a bit more luck, because he's not been very lucky in the latest races. Let's have a look here from Racing JS, still in the pits with his zipping old BMW, the yellow one, as he I think is about to drive out. There you go. Number 29 for today, James. Let's have a look then further up the grid as we see Jason out here in, I think, the same livery as G.B. Altman. So that's, I mean, there's only 8 drivers and plenty of liveries, so that's it's a bit unfortunate that these guys have picked the same livery. It's something that occurs quite a lot as well, so but we'll just have to cope with it. Here we see Hesselden, I think, in the number 76 car, as he usually is. Although he might have chosen for a different one this time. Oh, he actually has, yeah, 86 this time in the green BMW. So as he's gone white there, get on board with Casey. I think Casey's actually doing a fast lap with my co-host not being there. I am allowed to get the timing screen up so we can see sector times here, with Casey having a 21.7 with Hesselden being 2/10 off that, and Richie Davey a further 3/10 off Hesselden and 5/10 off Casey. Let's have a look. I think Casey's about to cross the second sector. It's a quick sector, that 44.8, as he takes it a bit cautious around the start of the stadium section here. So let's stay on board Casey then for his qualifying as one of the red BMWs. That's going to be Altman or Jason lets him past. Casey, a nice little banker lap, but I'm sure he will continue on for another lap. And there you go. And that's Casey's time, 37.5 as the very first qualifying lap. I think Hesselden's actually posted a time, has he? No, he's not. So where is Hesselden out on track then? Oh, here he is. Oh, I can actually flick through him like that. Okay, it's good to know that. Hesselden here. He's just come out of the pits. So let's have a look. Get on board with GT Gavin here. What can Mr. Baker do in the number 55 BMW? Let's have a look at sector time. I don't know if he's actually on the quick lap. He is, but he's quite far off the pace of Casely. I think roundabout he's about 1.5 seconds off already, with Richie Davey posting the time as well, 40.6. So that's well, that's 3 seconds off Casely. It's quite a lot. We know obviously though that Casely is one of the quicker guys in the league and on the game. So he'll be a force to be reckoned with. He can become a champion this day as well. And I'm not sure actually what the points are that he requires to become a champion. I'll have a look on my iPad now actually, and have a look at the points, because I think he only needs a couple of points. I think we made the mistake last week where last 2 weeks where we thought he was already the champion, and then it appeared that the last race was double points. So in case they still had to await his championship. As I click the Front Racing Facebook page, let's have a look at the points then. I think good old admin James Shaw should have uploaded that, and I'm not sure if he's actually done that. I'm having a look here, I'm seeing all kinds of results for the World Championship race and the World Series race, where we congratulate, I think it was Seymour with his first World Championship win. We'll look further up the grid as well. In the meantime, GT Gavin 39.0 in the meantime. Let's have a look at Casely. Has Casely improved this time? Not by the looks of it. 37.5 still. He's on another lap though. David Harp's gone to a 38.5, crosses the line just then as he bails out of the lap there. So GT Gavin another half a second behind David Harp. Oh, as he's gone to the gravel there, and that's not helped his lap time at all. With Richie Davey, has he improved this time? I think he has. I think it was a 40.6 earlier, now 39.6. So a lot of improvement shown by Richie Davey just then. As I'm actually still trying to find the results. I don't know if James Shaw has actually put these up. Let's have a look at the photos that's FRR's put out. Let's have a look. LMP1. Where I think Casely became the champion as well in the LMP1 league a couple of weeks ago. No, sorry, 1 week ago. I always mess the weeks up. As we see Richie Davey in the box is not what we want to see. Let's have a look at Casely then, as the surely becoming champion. Can he improve his time, Casely? Let's have a look. I've not had a look at the sector times, but it's looked like a clean lap. It's still 37.5 though. Let's see what the lap time was. I don't know, we can't see it. Oh, we can. 38.0. So that is half a second off this time, but that time would have actually still got him pole. So good performance there by Casely, as we see David Harp out of the pits there. And I'm not able to find the results. I will soon though. I'm convinced that I will. I can see the results of the Russian Grand Prix here, of the World Series, World Championship. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. PCP-GT3, I think I've got it here. No, it's not. Don't. I do appreciate James Shaw, the admin, a lot, but I would appreciate it if he would send me the standings before I go out and do this commentary thing, because that will help me out quite a lot. Because now I actually don't know when Casey's going to be champion or not. But I'm assuming if he gets a good result again, he will become champion. I think he was quite far ahead by about 50 points. So I think if he outscores Dave the Harp, I think he actually becomes a champion. Casely, I think from what I remember, I'm not sure about this, but I think he was 50 points ahead as he spins the car there. Nice little drift, Casely, mate. But that's not something you want to do in the race. But then again, rather do it in qualifying than in the race. So just a bit of practice in there. Let's have a look. JS has gone to P2 with a 38.2, so we've missed that. And obviously we are missing out on quite a lot since I'm trying to find the standings. But that's your fault, Front Racing JS. So I'm not that bothered. Let's have a look. No, I'm actually not able to find it. Bit unlucky, but I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is 50 points. As we see James Shaw going around here in the BMW. And this season started off with quite a lot of different cars, McLarens, Chevrolets, all kinds of cars. And after a few rounds, everyone switched to the BMW one. The cars and liveries were opened up, were unlocked by the admins. Since there were a lot of guys complaining that KSA was having an advantage, since he was in the BMW from the start. But since they have to switch to the BMWs, they still are not able to beat K-Slay. So then again, was it really the cars that obstructed the guys from beating K-Slay, or is it just K-Slay obstructing them from beating K-Slay? Seen from the results, you would suggest the latter. It is an alright car, the BMW, but I still do prefer the Chevrolet or the McLaren in terms of look and sound. I don't like the sounds. I'll let you hear this sound. Obviously, that stitchy sound is a bit of a glitch in project cars. But this is what the car sounds like as we drive this second half a lap on board with James. He's gone deep there, that's cost of this time there. And Jess has gone to third, so he's gone to second. Dave the Hart with a 38.1. So they're actually not that far off KSA, because KSA not being able to improve his time. So it's been a 37.5 ever since the session started. With the Dave the Hart only being 6/10 behind, but then again only 6/10. We only say that because normally KSA graps fall by about 1 or 1.5 seconds. But 6/10 is still quite a lot. Still a massive gap. But then again, you never know what happens in a race. Dave the Hart is the guy to challenge KSA, I believe. I think he's actually still in P2 in the championship here. So let's hope for Dave the Hart that he can actually try and outscore KSA in this Grand Prix. So the title decided goes to the last round. I think the circuit of Le Mans, and I think it's a 100-mile one as well. So it's going to be quite a tough one. Quite a long race, and also quite a long race to commentate on, so I best get the Red Bull out. You see that going around here. It's not looking like a back lap, but then again it's hard to see in this spectator cam whether the lap is fast or not, or whether it's just going around for a little cruise. I do tend to find that hard in the broadcast view. That's why I'd rather drive on board for most of the time. But then again, this looks nicer, so I mean, I do understand the choice to go for the broadcast view. It's there for a reason, so we'll just stick to the broadcast view for most of the times. As Dave that rounds off the final corner. Can he improve? Can he maybe steal pole away from K-Slay? He can. So let's get on board with another car then, as we see JS coming out of the pits for, I think, one last blast, but he won't make it to the line. So I don't know why these guys, which I think are Hesselden and JS, have actually gone out for that lap. See, that is Hesselden indeed. I'm not sure why they've gone out, because there's only 2 minutes left, so they won't get it round for a lap. As Richie Davey still in P7, 39.6, so he's not improved that time yet. But let's have a look what he does here. I don't know if he's on a flying lap or not, as we've just had a message on the YouTube channel. Richie Davis stays in 7th, with Hesselden picking up a few cones on the way to the finish line. Jason still in 8th on a 40.5, and that's my car in 9th. So the field's quite spread out, but then again there's little groups that are really close to each other. Obviously K-Slay being well, a country mile ahead, and then we've got David Hart all the way to GB Maltman, I believe, who are only separated by half a second, so it's pretty good. That promises for good racing, which it normally is for second place in this league. And Hesselden just another 4/10 off in P6, and Richie Davey another half a second. Oh, I saw a splatter rain there. Saw a splatter rain there, definitely. There is a rain on the circuit, so the drivers will not be able to improve their tyres. But what does that mean for the race? Will it rain in the race? Because if it would, that would spice things up, and we'll have to see if Casely can do it in the rain. As we have Oliver Beasley commenting on the YouTube channel, RMS Maranello. How are you doing today, Oliver? Oh, there's a bit of lag going on. I don't know if that's from my car or his car. I think it is his car. And with another 14 seconds to go was Richie Davies. Richie Davies lost the wheel. That's fantastic. That promises very good racing from him in the race. So well done to Richie Davey as we ride on board with Casely, the pole sitter once again. It's getting a bit boring as he's improved his lap time as well, 36.8, and Dave the Harp's gone to second with a 37.9. So he's improved on his time in the latter stages of the qualifying, with JS another 3/10 behind him on a 38.2 in third, GT Gavin fourth, GB Moltman fifth, Hessel in sixth, Richie David seventh, and Jason in eighth. As we have this 5-minute warm-up where people can actually take a little break and get the pit strategy going, get the right setup for the race in terms of aerodynamics, maybe a bit more aeros with the higher fuel levels. As we see Hesselden not wasting any time at all and exiting the pit straight away. As we will stick to the onboard view for the warm-up. Casely staying in the box, taking a nice little break. I do like the look of that Chevrolet, that's why I've picked it as the pace car sort of. Got GT Gavin still in the box, we've got Jason not wasting any time in the Grizzly livery. And Richie Davey is wasting the time with GB Moltman in that same Grizzly livery still in the garage. Dave the Harp and JS who's out on track once again. It's a shame that I can't look up the results for the standings for this Grand Prix. So we'll just go with the 50-point deficit, and we'll hear from James Shaw or Casely himself if that deficit is different. I think he's got 50 points haul over Dave the Harp before this race. So that would mean if he outscores Dave the Harp, he's champion. If he doesn't outscore him, it goes to the last race. As a matter of fact, it's a 2-minute 30 to go, and I still need to go for a little toilet break. So as you see James Shaw driving around here, I'll leave you with that for just a minute, and I'll be right back with you for the race. And there we go, I'm back just in time before the race starts with the front racing top in the warm-up session with a 39.4 with Jason in P2 and the rest of the cars not setting a time. So as we await the starting grid, there we go, session time remaining at 0, and there we go. There's the grid, K-State P1 flashing his lights with Dave the Harp alongside him in P2. The two championship contenders. There's 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights. And it's go, go, go. And we retire straight away to spectate. Let's see what's going on at the front of the grid. With K-State having a fantastic start into P1. And there he goes, Dave the Harp remains in second with, I think that is Hesselden behind him, is it correct? Dave the Harp's got a power boost penalty. Dave the Harp gone too wide into turn 1, and that's going to put Dave the Harp right to the back of the grid in last place. Let's have a look then, who's that car in second? Is JS. JS has gone up to second, so from third on the grid, JS has moved up 1 place, but he's already sort of lost Casely out of his sights. Yes, he has. Casely being miles ahead now already, with GT Gavin in third, being put on the pressure by GBM Altman, and I think that's Hesselden behind them. Let's have a look, who's going to go for the move? Who is that? A yellow car? Ooh, Altman's going to go for the move up. James Shaw's inside. Is he not? I'm not sure which car. Oh, there's a car gone onto the grass. I don't know who it is. It's really hard to see. It's GT Gavin has gone onto the grass. Let's go on board with the on-board view for a bit, because that is easier to see what's going on. On board with GBM Altman now with, I think that is James Shaw and who's that other car? I think Hesselden ahead. It is Hesselden putting James Shaw under a bit of pressure, and again it's the same thing as we've seen in most races. The cars behind Casey are battling, and Casey is able to get away by about 3 seconds in the first lap. And that's exactly what he's done, I think, by even more in this this particular race. So, GBM Altman's got a power boost penalty, and that's promoted GT Gavin into 4th. And Dave the Harp into 5th, straight back up the field again. So Dave the Harp from P2 to P8 to P5 in this instance. And Dave the Harp, I think, wasting no time. He's already catching up to GT Gavin as we get on board with the broadcast view for the last corner. Dave the Harp really flooring it, knowing that he needs to get to the front of the grid in order to stop Casey from taking the title in this Grand Prix. GT Gavin's got a power boost penalty. Dave the Harp lucky to avoid him. And that's GBM Altman passed as well. I think another car, Jason, passes him as well, with I think Richie Davies right at the back of the field. No, Richie Davies in 7th actually, and there's another car behind them. There's GT Gavin. And GT Gavin actually gone from I think P3 or P4 down to the last place of the grid. So that first corner taking no prisoners at all. With front racing JS 48.3 with Casey 42.2. So Casey actually gained 6 seconds in 1 lap. It's absolutely astonishing. With James Shaw now being put on the pressure by Hesselden and Dave the Harp. He's got up to 4th already. So Dave the Harp has obviously made the move on GT Gavin earlier. And let's see what Dave the Harp can do now. And while these cars are racing, I've got a bit of inside information. It's going to rain towards the end of the race. So we will see what's going to happen when that falls. I don't know which lap though. That's going to be a surprise for me as well. Could fall with about 6 laps to go. Could fall within the last lap. So we'll have to see what happens. James Shaw has also put on the Facebook page. I hope the race is done before the storm comes. And that's usually a sign that the storm will come before the race ends. Knowing James Shaw and knowing his way of putting things out there and setting up lobbies. He's now been put on pressure by Hesselden though massively, but there's no way passing this first corner, surely not. These guys making sure they don't go wide so they don't get a power boost penalty, as we saw with Dave the Harp and GT Gavin earlier. And Dave the Harp now joining in on the battle for P2. Dave the Harp braking really late, but there's no way past Hesselden just yet. And as James Shaw is taking defensive lines into a couple of these corners. And now around the straights, have a quick look where Casey is, although I'm not surprised if he is indeed at the hairpin now. It goes a bit wide, but can afford to go wide. 37.5 is that lap, and 39.5 for James Shaw. So already 8 seconds lost by P2 to P1, which in my opinion is absolutely massive. It's shocking really. There he goes, David Harp. Can he do it around the outside? He's done him around the outside for David Harp from P2 to P8 to P2, back again in the space of 3 laps time as he rounds off the last corner. Good battle going on here for P2. Oh, there's a car going off in the background. That's Hesselin. What's Hesselin done? Has he lost the car on the exit? I think he has. He might have lost it on the curb. And I think, has he got a power boost penalty? Yes, he has. He's cut the corner, and there's another car that's cut the corner. That is JS. JS has cut the corner and has got a power boost penalty as well. Where is he? Let's get on board with him. He's gone back down to P6. So what's happened to James Shaw? It's not really worked out for him at all. With David Harp now in P2, and K-State already at the hairpin. David Harp showing here why he's high up in the standings. Really over-revving his engine there though, so I hope that's not going to damage David Harp's engine throughout the race. With GB Maltman still behind David Harp, but struggling to keep up with him. Let's have a look. Has Richie Davey retired yet? No, Richie Davey's actually up to 5th. Normally Richie Davey retires within the first 2-3 laps, and he's actually still racing, so we applaud Richie Davey here from the Front Row Racing YouTube channel. Well done Richie on continuing the race as he nearly loses the car there. That's going to put James Shaw in a position of overtaking, surely, is it? He is closer. He's definitely closer than he was before. And I think James Shaw might have a bit more pace than Richie Davey in this race. Probably won't be happy with me saying that, but you got to be fair to yourself. Oh, James Shaw's gone off in the background. So what I just said, James Shaw might be having a bit more pace, but he can't keep it on the tarmac just yet. So far that leaves Richie Davey in P5. Let's have a look at what's happening. The cars further behind. Jason and GC Gavin having a good battle. GC Gavin being in 8th a couple of laps ago and has now made the move up to 7th. But Jason not really ready to give that position up yet. What was Jason done? That's not really a place where you want to park your car. I'm not sure what he's doing here. It didn't seem like he lost it. He just veered off to the gravel. I've activated the map. Sorry for that. So Jason lost time there by quite a big margin. Oh, James Shaw. There's something going on with Richie Davey and James Shaw here. Two very fierce racers. Have a look here. James Shaw, can he do it as the car tilts up a bit onto the curb? Oh, there's a car going off there. Is that David Hart? That? No, it's Hesselin. Hesselin's got a power boost penalty for, I think, going wide in that corner. And that's promoted Richie Davey up to 4th and James Shaw back up to 5th again. So now we've got a 3-way battle for P5. So P4. Oh look, what's GB Molman doing? Can he keep up to David Harp? Not by the looks of it. Not at all. Let's have a quick look at the lap times of David Harp and Casely. Casely still being half a second almost quicker. More than half a second actually. So it's looking very very comfortable for Casely at this moment in time. But then again, we've still got rain coming towards the end of the race, so we'll see what that does. So far, there's not many battles going on apart from this one, but no one's actually making a move just yet. Oh, James Shaw, is he going for the move? He is going for the move, but that's not a move. That is not on. He was never going to make that corner, and that's put Richie Davey up to P4 again. James Shaw is known for going through sometime or ton, but that was definitely one, if I ever saw one. fair play for him for trying. Obviously you need to get back on point, but if I was him, I'd pick a better place to do it, and I'd pick a place where I was a bit closer. Let's have a look then. I think James Short out of these three cars does have the most pace. But if he's just a bit more patient, I think he should be able to get up to P4 again. I think P3 is just a bit out of sight. It is at the moment. Ooh, Rich David drifting round the corner, and look at how close James Shaw is. Back up to the rear, Esselden again. Both going a bit wide, but keeping it together. What's James Shaw going to do? Is he going to go for another of those moves? There's driving both with him for this hairpin and for this straight and the hairpin. Let's see if he goes for another of those moves. It would be nice to see to catch one of them on board. He's surely too far off now though, but will he go for it? That's the question. I'd say surely not. No, I think there's better of it. He's learned from that mistake he's just done. He's gone a bit wide though. Maybe from the understeer from the car ahead. This is one of my favourite tracks to drive on this game, with especially with these cars. These cars can be absolute beasts around here, but some corners really don't take any prisoners. This one's a good example of that. The faster right-hander into the stadium section, and you've also got the first corner where you cannot cut or go wide too much. Let's put it like this: you can gain a lot in those corners by cutting them slightly or going wide, but you need to find the limit of the power boost penalty. But sometimes if you go over, you lose all the time you've gained by cutting it slightly. Let's have a look at what James Shaw and the guys ahead do. He doesn't cut it and goes slightly wide, but can he keep it on the tarmac without a boost? Yes, they do, all of them. Let's have a look here. Hesselden, and both of these should be able to catch up to Richie Davey, but they've not really done that so far. Oh, look, Oldman 38.9, Richie Davey 43, Hesselden 39.7, and James Shaw 39.5. So they should be able to catch up to Richie Davey. But there's James Shaw going for a move. Can he make the stick this time? Gonna go for it again. He's cut the corner though. And the game lets him off with that one. That surprises me. Hesselden's got a better exit though, because he's gone wider into that corner. And Hesselden's surely going to take that place, but James Shaw not really ready to give the position up, is he? Is he going to go for the move up the inside here, up the outside? He's not. But Hesselden had to compromise his exit. James Shaw definitely having a better drive here. And Hesselden, I don't think there's any way of fighting this. James Shaw is surely past now, unless Hesselden tries to outbrake James Shaw here, and he's not done. So James Shaw is ahead in P5 now. And by battling so severely, they've let Richie Davey off by about a couple of seconds, I'd say. Let's have a look at the last lap times. Still the same lap times, but let's have a look at this particular lap. 40.6, and we'll see. I think James Shaw probably doing about 43.3. Oh, Hesselden's got past again. This is surely an interesting battle here. Hesselden actually managed to get past again. Has he got a power boost penalty? Not by the looks of it. There's the rain. The rain's falling. With the 15 laps to go, it started to rain, and these guys will probably put on intermediate straight away. Or will someone take the gamble and go for full wets? And if K-State would take a gamble and it wouldn't pay off, that would surely be something to keep an eye on. I think you will definitely see people going for full wets. Let's have a look. Is K-State one of them? Obviously we can't see the tyres that these guys go for. I'm pretty sure we will see K-State pit this lap though. Ooh, K-State's gone on for another lap, and that might hurt his strategy. David Harp here in P2. Is he going to go for it? I think he is. He surely is going to go for the pits here. It would surprise me if he wouldn't. He's gone for the pits. He's gone for the pits. David Hart. So is this a key moment in this race then? When David Hart pits here, what tyres is he going to put on? Is he going to go for the intermediates or the full wets? Last time he took intermediates in the LMP1 race, and the track was absolutely soaking wet. And the gamble didn't pay off at that point. Let's have a look what David Hart's going to do here. We can't see what he's doing. The guys in front have gone past. So Richie Davies gone past. Hesselin's, I think, gone for the box. Yes, he has. James Shaw's gone on for another lap. And GT Gavin's gone on as well. What's Jason going to do? Jason's surely going to pit. I think he is anyway. I think he would make a good move by pitting. He's continued on for another lap, so these guys taking quite a lot of gambling here. And where is the guy in P6 here? He's David Hart. On which tyres? David Hart, intermediates or full wets? We'll find out in a moment. Struggling to get the wet tyres up to temperature. We can't actually see what tyres these guys are on. That's the thing that I think they should have implemented in the game. Let's have a look then. Let's go further up the grid, see what Casey does here as he rounds off the final corner once again. Is he going to go for the box? Here it's Casey now pitting. And which tyres is he going to go for? Is he going to go for the inters or for the full wets? I think he's going to go for the inters, since he sees that it's not really raining as hard as it was last week, when the full wets were definitely needed. I think you'll see most guys pit in this instance. Let's have a look here. GB Altman. Yeah, the guys are struggling to get the cars around the corner. So GB Altman pits as well. And I'm sure we'll see Richie Davey pit as well in his yellow car. A yellow, I think, Zippinal car. Is that not the one? No, it's not. Oh, Richie Davey's gone very wide. But he's going to go for the pit surely. And he is. With the front racing JS in fourth. Also, he is going for the pit surely, is he not? He's gone on for another lap, James Shaw. What a crazy move by James Shaw there. Going on for another lap, so he must feel comfortable on these tyres. Go on board with him for a bit. See how good he feels. He's not too bad, but I'm not sure if he's made the right call. I think Casey's actually pitted and come out ahead of James Shaw. Has he actually? Oh, James Shaw lost it then. He's not gone for the right strategy at all, James Shaw. I'll tell you what, if he retires, then I'll get him into the commentary box to finish off the commentary with me. But I'm not sure if he's going to retire. I'm not sure if he is the retiree type, like Richie Davey, for example. Richie Davey, a guy that sometimes is tempted to retire. Oh, David Hart goes past there. As James Shaw does not have any grip at all. I don't know why James Shaw has gone on for that another lap. Has Casey pitted? That's what I'm wondering. He has pitted, but I'm not sure if it's actually put on the right tyres. Should have, but is he really this far ahead? So look, yeah, he goes on for another lap, so that suggests he's pitted. Gonna move with David Hart then. I really can't imagine Casey being this far ahead. Yeah, but it has, it shows it there, 2 minute 11, 2 minute 15 by David Hart. Oh, there you go. David Hart rounds over last corner. What tyres is he on? I've got a feeling he's on full wets, and I don't think the tyres are right for that. At this moment in time, the field is very, very spread out as James Short is in the pits now finally, but that's going to cost him all his positions. As Jason's gone off. I think Jason's actually had a crash with a car there. I think that might have been GT Gavin. We've lost a car as well, by the way. I think that might be... No, GT Gavin's in P5, so... Which car have we lost? Let me have a think. We've lost Hesselden. That's the one we've lost. So that's a shame for Hesselden. If Jason goes round here, he goes round the final corner. I don't think Jason's... Has he pitted? No, I don't think he has. Just going to board with him. No, it's not pitted, and that's a shame for Jason because he could have gained a lot with the pit stop. He's going to go for the pit shortly now, though. Yes, he is. That's James Short is out on track yet again. I think he might be on intermediates. And let's have a look at David Harp in Casely. Gap still absolutely massive. Casely being almost, I think, more than a sector ahead. But if you're watching this race and if you think you can challenge Casely, who's absolutely, well, trashing the field, I'm not going to lie, please message the page Front Row Racing on Facebook, or message Front Row Racing without a G, underscore JS or GP or DP, either one of them three, and they'll get you in touch with this league. And if you think you can have more pace than Casely, then feel free to show it, because it will make for a more interesting race, because at this point the field is spread out, and I'll be honest, it's not the most fun to commentate on. Obviously, sometimes we have fantastic battles going on, and I think today is not one of them days, unfortunately, with the cars being, I think, about 10 seconds apart, each of them. Well, if Casely can keep it together, this is surely another dominant performance where he can grab his championship with. Is the rain stopping? No, I thought it was stopping, sorry. I thought I saw it drying up. It would make for an interesting race if it would dry up, because I've not seen that, to be honest. I didn't see it on the weather. But then again, it might dry up. I think it would make for a good race if it would, or if it would go to heavy rain. So we'll see another series of pit stops. Just seen we lost another car. So look at that. It is Rishi Davies retired. So something we've seen before. There's two big boards waiting outside the pit box. I don't know what that is for. Oh, this guy's pitting. Is it drying up? It is. I think it is drying up. And that is, I think, GT Gavin and Jason pitting at the same time. I think Jason's actually lapped though. Yes, he is. And James Short pitted as well. Let's have a look. What's Casely done? Casely's nearly lapped these guys. That's how shocking it is. He's going to go for the pit as well. There you go. Casely into the pits. What's Dave the Hart going to do? I don't think Dave the Hart's pitted. Jim Altman is getting closer to Dave the Hart by the looks of it. Let's have a look at the lap times. Yes, he is by a second. Then again, 9 laps to go. I don't know how many seconds it is. It could be 9 seconds actually. I think it could actually be less than that. I'd say it's about 5 or 6 seconds. But then again, these guys are going to pit now, obviously, both of them. Would surprise me if they didn't. Oh, GB Maltman's gone on, and I think that's a very bad move. That's not a move you want to do, GB Maltman, because you were quicker on the occasion here, and that's a shame. GB Maltman's gone on. David Hart then pitting for new tyres. GT Gavin has just done that same thing. As for Jay Shaw, as for Jason, they've all pitted for fresh tyres, so it might bunch up the field a bit more with the lower guys pitting for new tyres. You might actually see the lower guys gaining away a couple of seconds. We'll have a look on the lap times in a bit. Taking it around the corner nicely, still in second, but he's surely losing time now. Let's have a look at the sector times. He's losing about a second a lap, I think, per on Casely. No, a second a sector actually. You can see GT Gavin on the slick tyres has gained a second in one sector on G-Rim Oldman, as he's surely going to pit now. Well, I think that's costed G-Rim Oldman second place, to be honest. And that was quite a shame, because it would be nice to see G-Rim Oldman higher up than he is now. Oh, look at GT Gavin pushing the car to the limit there. And he might actually be, no, I was going to say he might be able to get Altman for third, but I'd say at this point Altman's a bit too far ahead. He's already round the first corner of GT Gavin, rounding off the last corner now, so I'd say there's about 2 straights in between them. Yes, it is. So that might be a bit of a... oh, James Shaw's gone off again. And it's let him off without a power boost penalty then. But surely 4th place is too far ahead. Looking with 4th place is going around the second corner now. And James Shaw just in the last section now. Jason, in the meantime, I think he's gone around the first corner, so he's quite a far way behind James Shaw. And that's my car in 7th. Also in the next couple of weeks, I think there will be a couple of announcements on the Project Cars League. For example, the cars that we will be driving next season and how many leagues there will be, because at the moment we've got 2. But with the attendance being quite low, I'm not sure if it's going to stay with the 2 leagues or if it's going to be more frequently. For example, now we've got a race every 2 weeks, and then we might have a race every week. As we see James Shaw having a little trip to the crowd in that hairpin. Let's have a look. Can James Shaw then keep up with Casely and show his pace? Show what he would have been able to do. At the moment, this is the only interesting battle sort of going on. It's not really a battle, obviously, with James Shaw being a lap down, but these cars are the closest on track. So we'll just keep an eye on these. Obviously, there probably won't happen anything special unless James Shaw decides to take Casely out to keep the title decider going. But then again, I don't think the other admins would be happy with James Shaw if he would do that. I think we'd have to call him James Hockenheimring very soon again, which was his PSN name before he became an admin. obviously all the admins have front row racing underscore and then their two initials. Their the first letter of their first name and the first letter of their last name. And with James Shaw being James Shaw, he's got a J and an S, and with Dave Paling and Steve, well, yeah, he's called Gear Level Paling, so he's got GP. So the admins have got all kinds of names for them. What I have to say though, I do hope that that there will be more people attending this league in future seasons, and especially in the season that is coming up, because I don't know what's going to be the plan, but usually the plans they have for the Project Car League are quite good. So I hope people actually stick around this time. Oh, James Shaw's gone off there in the background. I'm sorry, that's made me laugh, but that was quite funny seeing that BMW in the front of the screen swiping to the left. That was quite a bit of fun. I'm not sure if James Shaw would have found it just as fun as I did though. So what's he going to do? Is he going to pit or is he going to continue on? No, he's going to continue on. Is he? No, he's got for the pits. James Shaw not really having the race that he would have hoped for. Let's have a look. Yeah, Jason's far behind, so he does have the gap to be able to go for the pits. Let's have a look. Casey already around turn 3, and Dave Hart in the stadium section. Then we've got G-Beam Altman also in the stadium section, but I do think G-Beam Altman is too far off since he's at the start of the stadium section, and Dave Hart is rounding off the stadium section just there. We've got GT Gavin now entering the stadium section, but I'd say Dave Hart, Altman and GT Gavin are probably about 10 to 15 seconds separated. I'd say about 10. Maybe GT Gavin 15 and Altman to Dave Hart 10. So it's not really a battle going on as James Shaw's probably, I think lapped by Dave Hart, is he? Yes, he has. This is Casey in the P1. Only 5 laps remaining, and having it fairly easy and comfortable once again on a Sunday night, as he does have most of the Sunday nights. Sometimes he does get involved in a battle, but it's not very frequently. Sometimes a Dave Hart or a Adam Fox 600, and sometimes I have even been able to challenge KC, but those are very rare occasions, unfortunately, and Case has been pretty much dominating both of the Project Cars leagues. But fair play. I mean, he puts the practice in, and he's just a quicker guy on this game, and we'll give him hats off for that. I mean, he's fully deserving his championships. From what I know, he also drives in cockpit cam as well, so not in this cam that you see here. This is the cam I drive with, and I'm not sure if I can actually put a cam like Casey has on. Well, it sort of looks like this, but you've got all the you're basically inside the car, so it's quite hard to see to also race wheel to wheel. But Casey manages it and manages to be fast with it, so fair play to him. I know Dave Hart does drive in the cam that I just displayed, and he's comfortable with that. He's been able to go fast with that, so he should just keep it that way. And let's have a look. Ooh, Dave Hart just got a power boost penalty. No, he's not. And Altman, where's Altman? Let's have a look. That's Dave Hart rounding off the. Well, why are we still on board with Dave Hart? I would like to get on board with Altman. There he is. And Altman's only here, so that's. Who's that car behind? Is that GT? No, it's not GT Gavin. That's James Shaw. Yes, it is. Let's get on board with James Shaw. Every time we got on board with James Shaw, there was something happening, and I've got a power boost penalty. So let's stay on board with him for probably about a lap or a lap and a half to see if something happens to James Shaw again, since that's really the only thing. Well, the only guy causing any sensation in this race at the moment. James Shaw, what are you doing? Just what is that? It's really funny though. I mean, I'll give him that. Is he going to retire the car? He's not. I was suggesting for him to join me in the commentary box, but he's decided to continue on and to try and make it into a sort of rally. as he did just then. Let's have a look here. We'll stay on board with him since he does he does it time and again. He might let Jason catch up to him, who's not that close. Oh, well, he's quite close again now. I'll be fair. Jason taking it cautiously. I don't think Jason's actually a really experienced guy on this game. He's doing. I think he's doing well in the F1 league. I think he's about 5th or 6th place in the standings, which is very good for him. He's been very consistent around most races. I'm not sure what he's done in the previous. I'm not sure if he's actually finished inside the points. He might have done a bit lower down the field. I think he might have finished 8th or 9th. But then again, I'm not sure about that. He might have finished outside the points because the James Shaw pits there, and that promotes Jason up to P5. But what I was saying is that the both fields in the World Championship and World Series are very, very, very competitive at this point in the in the progression of the league. We've obviously started off as a small league with only really one division, and then that expanded to 2 and to 3, and then they came up with the idea to have the Fridays Cup and now the World Championship and World Series reserves. So there's quite a lot of attention and popularity gained for the league, which obviously is a very good thing. But that obviously means that there's more and more quicker drivers joining, more and more drivers that can fight for the titles, fight for the podiums, and fight for the points. But I'm sure Jason, with his consistency, is able to get pretty high up the standings as he is now. Okay, so just get on board with him, as he's only got another 1.5 lap to go, I think. And there we have him, with Jason actually behind it, no, in front of him. I think that's Jason anyway. So look, is that Jason or is that Altman? That is Jason. So Jason, I think, getting lapped for the second time in this race by the phenomenal Casey. And Casey then going around for his final lap in a couple of corners time, and we'll stay on board with him for the final lap in which he grabs the PCP Championship for this season, as he's done with the PCS League, the LMP1 League. Jason is going to let him by, I think, here. Yes, there we go, Jason off the racing line, and Casey has gone past. He's flashed his lights to say thank you. What a phenomenal season Casey's had. Pretty much dominated this GT3 league. I'm trying to think of a race that is not won, and at this moment I just can't think of any. Really. I know there's a race where I haven't commentated on because me and my co-commentator James were out for the Belgium Grand Prix. I think that's actually the race that he lost in that weekend. I think that race went to Dave the Harp around the Nürburgring track. But in the other race he's been absolutely dominating, so fair play to Casey. He's showing great things in the World Championship as well, in the F1 League, and he's probably showing even greater things in here, winning pretty much every race that he competes in, apart from a rare occasion where he doesn't, as he is in the stadium section, and he can cruise it to the finish line now. If you'd screw all the wheels off the car, he'd probably still be able to get to the finish line before the number 2, which is Dave the Harp, I think. If nothing has changed. But Casey, a fantastic performance, a fantastic season, and we congratulate Casey with a victory and with a World Championship win here around Hockenheimring, as we see Dave the Harp here on the still on the same lap, but quite a bit far back. And Dave the Harp, the fallen champion. I think Dave the Harp's won one of these leagues. I think he's won last season, Dave the Harp, but he's going to have to give the trophy to Casey. He's tried everything in his power, but it's not been enough, unfortunately, for David Hart, but I think he will be happy with P2, knowing that that was probably the maximum result that he could have got, as David Hart rounds off the final corner and gets the car across the line for P2. Second place on the podium, and JammyJames Oldman. I'm not sure if JammyJames Oldman's actually been on the podium, but he's surely going to grab a podium now as he rounds up the last corner for P3. Great result for JammyJames Oldman, and I think that's one of his first times on the podium. I'm not sure if it's actually the first one, as we see GT Gavin around off the last corner for P4. We'll probably be disappointed by that since there's only 6 cars finishing. Let's have a look here. Jason, I think 2 laps down in P5, and where's JS? JS is retired in P6. So JS has decided not to finish the race, and Jason cruising the car on in P5 with only a couple of corners to go. Taking it fairly easy, Jason, not damaging the car. Keeping it nice and clean through the corners, as it's going to rain. Was that rain that I saw just then? No, that is rain. It is rain, and Jason puts it into the pits. Oh, obviously he's finished because he's lapped. So that's Jason in P5, and the rain appearing on track. The guys are very lucky to finish the race at this point. Otherwise we might have seen some drama towards the end of the race. So that's Casely P1, David Hart, as we see drive around here, in P2, and that's Oldman in P3. I'll invite James Shaw into the party, so he and I can do the commentary. Well, not the commentary, the Hart friends list. So there you go. So all the cars are backed up nearly now. Oldman and David Hart. Has David Hart left the session? David Hart has left the session. We've got Casey's car here, as all the cars are packing up. That's JammyJames Oldman, and that's my car there in P6, unused unfortunately. I would have liked to race in this, but I'm a commentator, so that's just the way it works, as I don't know if people are actually joining me in this party. It would be nice if they did. I'll send them one more invite to hope that they join me. And what's the other guy up for the podium interviews at all, as we have Kendall joining us. A great race by you, Kendall. We'll wait for the other guys to join.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure if people will actually join this lobby. That's the thing.
I think Dave might have had to shoot off.
Yeah, he might have, because he's left the party and has gone offline. So that's Dave not available for the podium interviews, and I don't have Oldman on my friend list, so I can't invite him. Obviously, I need James to.
I've got him. Do you want me to recommend him?
If you can suggest him, that would be very nice.
He's happy with his podium. Got to give him a chance to talk.
Definitely. If you can suggest him for me, there you go. Case Day 1 has suggested players, so we'll invite him in. I hope James Shaw joins me as well for the poll. We'll wait until Oldman joins the lobby, and then we'll just get going. I'm not sure if James Shaw is actually going to join. There is Oldman.
Hello.
So JammyJames Oldman in P3, and we've not got our podium sitter in P2.
Very unusual linked up anywhere on this game, especially these. Bloody hell, these are hard work, these cars.
It is definitely hard work. Guys, can you make sure you've got the party settings set to share your voice, so your voice can be shared all around the world. Otherwise there's really no point in doing an interview, as I don't think James Shaw is joining us. Are you good to go, guys?
Yeah, looks like it's share.
Alright, well, Kendall, P1 and P1 secured in the championship. So first of all, we would like to congratulate you by outscoring David Hart. You've managed to secure the championship before the last round. How are you feeling about that, and talk us through this race and possibly your season? I mean, it's been a pretty much dominant race and a pretty much dominant season. So talk us through.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Glad to get it wrapped up. It might have looked easier from commentary box, but it's definitely not with the pace these guys have got. So yeah, it was satisfying to beat them. But I know they'll be back. So, and today was, to be honest, a bit unexpected. I didn't have much practice, so yeah, to run away like that was a bit surprising.
Yeah, and it was pretty much the same format as in the previous races. The guys behind you get battling, and you just wander off. And I mean, that's the thing that we've seen with you all season, obviously. What I was surprised though with it was that when it rained, you pitted quite late for your wet tyres. What was the reason for that? Because I think Dave the Hart, when it rained, he pitted straight away, and you sort of waited with it. And I thought Dave the Hart would catch you up, but in the end, you were able to blast him away again. But that surprised me. So.
Well, yeah, he said, "Have you stayed out?" And then I looked at the time. He was obviously in the pit lane. And the issue is, if you use cockpit view on this game, you don't get a good sense of when the rain comes. You only see it when it's quite heavy. So I didn't see it until the following lap. I think Dave went on wets. That's why he dropped back a bit.
Yeah, I think he did that as well.
Went on into, yeah, so that's why I went a lot later. I wouldn't have planned to, but it just didn't show up on my screen really.
Because I think Dave the Hart with last week having put on the inters and it being absolutely soaking wet, I think he went for the wet tyres and it was the other way around. So that was a bit unfortunate for Dave the Hart. So, but anyway, fair play to your win. It looked easy. I'm taking your words that it wasn't, but just to emphasise it, it really looked very easy because you were, I think, half a lap in front. So, but anyway, fair play to you, Kendall. On to GB Oldman then, and is this your first podium? Can I ask?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel? First podium in PCP-GT3. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, thanks to Kendall. I've done a bit of practice with him over the last couple of races, not this one, but he's helped me out a bit, got my lines right, bits and pieces, and away we go.
Yeah, because I have to say your pace was good in the race. It was really steady. Didn't make many mistakes. It was unfortunate that you couldn't catch Dave the Hart, because I think if you would have pitted earlier for the I think the dry tyres it was, I think you would have been able to get closer to him and maybe put him under a bit of pressure. So yeah. Talk us through why didn't you go for the pit straight away with the rain?
I stayed out because it was still slightly wet. I could see that there was wet on the circuit, so I thought, well, if I go on the slicks, I'm going to be spinning somewhere. So I thought one more lap, get round there, but I think I was just one lap too late. But that's the way it goes. That's racing.
That was unfortunate. But are you still? Can you say you're happy with P3, or do you think P2 could have been possible, and for that reason I'm quite disappointed?
No, P3, happy with P3. I only come into this halfway through the season. I've joined the boys, and I've got quicker and quicker, and it's been great just to race with them actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep the practice up and keep it going, you might be able to nick a few more podiums and maybe a victory for next season. Because I don't know what class of cars we're going to drive next season and how long, and but whatever. I think James Shaw will make an announcement. I would have hoped he would join us in this party to make a couple of announcements, but he's not joined, so that's a bit unfortunate. But any thoughts, guys? Any cars that you would want to drive for next season? So the admins can have a look. And can take your opinions into account.
Just before this race, the admins did a broadcast, and we've selected 5 which will be put forward to everyone to vote on.
Okay.
So that will be, I think it's going to be up tonight or tomorrow or something, so there'll be more info put on the Facebook page soon.
Alright. Okay, so that's quite interesting then. 5 choices, and can you talk us through whether they're going to do 1 league or 2 leagues, or because obviously we've got 2 leagues now, but the attendance is not very high. So
yeah, I think we're merging into one for Sundays. Seems like the best day at the minute for everyone.
yeah,
And yeah, I think more info will put up soon. We're just sort of trying to get all the lobbies set and sorted and everything. But yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Alright, so guys, on to the next track then, which is the Le Mans circuit. How are you feeling about that one? Do you think it could be in for an interesting race? Have you got pace there? How are you feeling confident for that one? I want both of your opinions on that then.
No running around there done yet.
You do know the track though, do you?
I know the track, but
yeah.
You've got to dial in the car to make it stable. But
yeah, I think setup will be very important there with the straight line speed, but there's obviously a lot of corners as well, so I think setup will be very very vital there.
Yeah, the only time I've raced around that is Gran Turismo, I think.
Which is obviously quite a long time ago, Gran Turismo.
Which is a long time ago, yeah. So a lot of clue in these cars. So we just hope we get it right.
So Altman hopes he gets it right, and we will hope you are joining in for that one as well in 2 weeks' time on this Sunday, 7:30 PM UK time, for the very last round of the PCP-GT3 Championship around the circuit of Le Mans. As far as I'm aware, the From a Racing YouTube channel will be back on the Wednesday at 7:30 for the World Championship reserves around the famous track of Monaco, and then on the Thursday at the same time and at the same place, 7:30 at Monaco, for the World Series reserve for the Assist League and the World Championship, obviously the No Assist League. And then with the Project Cars, we'll be back next week with the LMP1 League with your commentator James Shaw. And I will be racing in that. I think Altman and Casey racing that as well, so tune in for that one as well. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and good night.